Like our video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.
France beat Morocco. Today we are going to break down the tactics and the refereeing decisions. Let's break it down. In possession, Morocco consistently pushed their right back Hakimi high up the pitch. He frequently occupied the right half space, allowing Morocco to build with a back three. Because of Hakimi positioning, Doué often tucked inside to keep him under control. There was a plenty of rotation on Morocco's right side. Brahim Diaz regularly dropped deeper to receive the ball freely, forcing France to adjust their defensive structure. Whenever Diaz received in these areas, Hakimi was always ready to attack with space in behind. He played extremely high throughout the match. In this situation, Doué stepped out to press Diaz, while one of the France's central midfielders shifted across to track Hakimi. Morocco looked for these passes in behind to Hakimi quite often, but France dealt with them well for most of the game. It's also worth mentioning that Diaz occasionally drifted into central areas to create an overload in midfield. However, France's first defensive line remained very compact, making it almost impossible to find passes between the lines. As a result, Morocco developed most of their attacks through the flanks, where Hakimi could receive the ball. In some situations, even the attacking midfielder drifted into that space to support the attack. An interesting detail was that Olise often marked holding midfielder, almost man-to-man. Boadi had a very poor game because he was constantly under pressure and offered almost no progression with the ball. In such situations, France's right winger stayed very high and tucked inside, keeping the team's shape compact centrally. In general, Morocco's biggest problem was the huge imbalance between the two flanks. Their right side was excellent, while their left side offered very little throughout the game. They barely attacked throughout that side at all. Another interesting pattern was Hakimi's extremely aggressive positioning. He pushed so high that he was sometimes positioned even higher than Morocco's right winger. Naturally, someone had to cover the space he left behind. We often saw Morocco's defensive midfielder shifting towards the right flank to provide cover for Hakimi. Several of these cover movements worked well, but France still created a few dangerous situations by playing diagonal balls into the space behind Hakimi. For the opening 15 minutes, France allowed Morocco to dominate possession. Morocco controlled the ball, but created almost nothing. After that, France became much more aggressive. From the mid-block, they jumped into man-oriented pressing, as we can see in this sequence, forcing Morocco to play long balls, because every nearby passing option was closed. Once Morocco were forced long, they struggled to secure the second balls. That's particularly interesting is how man-oriented France pressing was. In this example, France's left back is actually the deepest defender because he is following Diaz. Even with this aggressive man-oriented approach, France's defender consistently won their key 1v1 duels. Morocco's best chances actually came after France lost possession while trying to launch counters. Even then, France recovered very quickly, their holding midfielders tracked back immediately, closed the central spaces, won the ball back, and prevented Morocco from generating clear shots on goal. Looking at France in possession, Olise initially operated much wider on the right, trying to receive there before delivering crosses or cutbacks. France's right back also pushed very high, but Morocco's defended the ball side extremely compactly. They packed the area around the ball with numbers, simply preventing France from creating anything. France's dribblers had almost no room to enter the penalty area. However, this defensive approach concentrated so many players near flanks that it left space in front of Morocco's penalty box. We saw numerous situations where France received the ball freely in these central pockets before shooting from distance or playing dangerous passes. This happened repeatedly. Olise would receive on the wing with 2 or even 3 defenders in front of him and almost no French players occupying the penalty area. But thanks to his outstanding technique, he could still dribble past 1 or 2 opponents, cut inside, and then play the ball into the central pocket. Mbappé frequently found space there, from where he could either create chances or shoot himself. We also saw how dangerous France became whenever they switched the play. As soon as the attack moved from one flank to the other, France immediately filled the penalty area. In this example, they have 5 players attacking the box. It wasn't only Olise producing this pattern, We saw almost exactly the same action from the left side. This time Doué cut inside, found Mbappé between Morocco's line, and Mbappé took a shot from around 24 meters. Probably the biggest talking point of the first half was the penalty. In this sequence, Doué wins the duel against Hakimi, France break quickly, the ball reaches Mbappé, and France are awarded a penalty. But was it actually a penalty? Looking closely at the replay, we can see that Mazraoui doesn't appear to make a contact with Mbappé. What's interesting is that Mbappé doesn't attempt to jump over Mazraoui's leg. Instead, he leaves his leg behind, seemingly looking to initiate the contact himself. Because of that, I think Mbappé was looking for the contact rather than being genuinely fouled. Mazraoui wasn't really making a challenge on Mbappé. Mbappé was actively searching for the contact. For that reason, I think the referee would have been better of reviewing the incident on the VAR monitor. Mbappé failed to convert the penalty, which made the game even more interesting. France also had another big chances from a corner in the first half. After the delivery, Bonou produced another outstanding save. In fact, Bonou was probably the only real positive for Morocco throughout the entire match. In the second half, Olise moved into a more central role as number 10. We immediately saw a familiar pattern. Mbappé continued to operate between the lines, trying to disrupt Morocco's defensive shape and force defender to step out. That movement was designed to create a space for attacking midfielder to make a run into. There was also a slight adjustment on the right side. Morocco continued trying to overload the ball side, but this time Doué drifted from the left wing to offer an extra passing option. It almost worked. In this sequence, he attempts a chipped pass into the space behind the defense, but it was intercepted. The positional changes in the final third, with Olise operating as an attacking midfielder, were probably France's most important tactical adjustment. He has an outstanding understanding of space and an exceptional technique in tight areas. In this example, he receives the ball under pressure, beats his defender with a dribble, and plays a brilliant through ball. Mbappé is offside in the end, but Olise creates the entire move by himself. France's opening goal came after a chaotic sequence of rebounds and loose balls. Eventually, ball falls to Mbappé, with several defenders surrounding him. Somehow, he managed to curl an incredible finish into the far corner from an almost impossible angle. It was a phenomenal piece of individual quality. The second goal started with Olise. He turned quickly, found a forward pass through the middle and launched France's counter. One important detail is Mbappé's movement. He deliberately dragged Morocco's defender away, creating space for Dembélé to move inside. Dembélé then finished brilliantly with a superb strike. Both goals were outstanding examples of individual finishing. Overall, this wasn't a game full of complex tactical ideas or spectacular combinations. Morocco's biggest issue remains the same: they only have one consistently dangerous attacking flank, and that limits their offensive threat. France delivered a solid, controlled performance, without doing anything extraordinary tactically. But then the decisive moment arrived, their players produced moments of world-class quality. And that was enough to send France to the next round. Leave a like if you enjoyed the analysis. Who do you think France will face in the semi-finals? And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth tactical analysis throughout the World Cup.